Deep Talk with Patrick Nill, the 2 times World Cup Championship of Trading winner. He explained you today what is his way of trading with the PBD logic, but especially he explained you how comfortable is his feeling between his trading sessions. How is his feeling for the risk and the money management, and also what we will build in 2026 together for all the students and clients of World Class Edge and Trades Traders. If this is interesting for you, listen this podcast. It is amazing. You will love it.
So a very good day to everyone. Today I have dear Patrick here with me, my friend and companion at Trade the Traders. And today we want to give you a little overview of what we have planned for 2026. I think Patrick would like to share a bit about how all of this is for him, because you have to know I'm kind of the face that tells people how to do trading, but Patrick is the one who actually implements trading in an awesome way. And yes, we're here together in Cyprus right now. Serge is here too. And we thought we'd give you a little preview of what will happen in 2026 and what goals we've set for ourselves, just to pave a really great path for you and your future as a trader. A warm welcome. Patrick, it's great to have you here. And yes, the first thing we're going to do now is have an open house day. And what will happen at this open house day, you'll definitely experience if you want to come in person. But how is it for you, Patrick, when you think about experiencing the profession of a trader, not just virtually, but also physically together?
For me, it's been a great experience. I used to work in a large manufacturing factory and just slogged away day after day. I just worked constantly. And now it's really nice. I mean, I have a truly great working environment with all the guys here. We do a lot of activities together and you really get to enjoy all the various benefits of the job. And the thing is, you can organize everything yourself, which is great.
How would you quantify the benefit, specifically in terms of better performance when you trade in a group and with a lot of people, this kind of office vibe you experience?
It's huge. I mean, when you trade on your own, as long as everything goes well, it's great. But you need a fallback level, people you can talk to when things aren't working out. And that's where a functioning group is super important.
Yeah, and now we've also integrated Dennis Scharnweber into our team. Patrick knows him very well too, and Dennis has a master's degree in clinical psychology, and he's someone who has been in the markets for 30 years. He's active in the field of personal development, and for us, he's just an incredible asset to simply give people much more access to emotional topics. Patrick, what would you say, what percentage of this trader DNA methodology, and especially the emotional component, is involved? Yeah, what percentage of that is ultimately what brought you to this level of profit? These 5 years where you've been performing really amazingly at the World Cup Championships, how much of that is down to psychology?
I'd say definitely 70-80%, because without it, you're lost. You try everything out and you first have to find a way that you enjoy, where you feel comfortable and everything. And that really helps a lot. By the way, I'm really glad that Dennis is with us. So that's really great.
Yeah, well, from my perspective, I think 70% is too little. I'd say it's 90%, but not on your level, rather in general. Especially when it comes to first even knowing what emotions you're dealing with when you truly live the life of a trader. That's completely different from just gambling a bit on the side. And yeah, so I can only tell you, for all of us, that's a huge added value. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun with that too at the open house day then in Larnaca. Dennis will be there as well. We'll spend a whole day talking about emotions and emotion regulation in stock trading. And Patrick, you'll be there too, and you'll share a bit about how you execute your trades. What techniques do you use to execute your trades? What are the simplest ones? The simplest, like the ones you use there? Yes, just to get a sense of it.
So what really helps me in trading and is actually super easy to implement, those are the PBD logics that you showed me. That's already half the battle for me. And if you then also use the levels, the incident, to determine the business zone, that's a lot. That's the foundation for me. That's really it.
Exactly. You really do make it simple, and that's something you just have to be able to communicate outwardly as well. I always say less is more, and in trading that's really true once you've understood it. What psychological challenges do you bring with you? If you've made peace with that, if you're no longer stressed or constantly stressed, and then you have a duplicable strategy, then you can really perform amazingly. and it all runs pretty smoothly and easily. So what was it for you like that? The moment when it really clicked for you, when you felt totally comfortable, was there a specific moment or was it more of a process?
That was actually more of a process. Well, I'm obviously aware that if I put in more effort and also take the other factors into account, the performance gets better. But honestly, I'm a lazy person. And since it works this way too, I just leave it out. Or I have the convenience that I can always just ask a search. If I'm there and the person sitting 3 meters away, I can ask, what do you think? Is there anything else we can optimize? So I'm definitely in a comfortable position there. But what was the experience? Well, yeah, actually, it really was exactly as I told you, right at 2 in the morning. While I was sitting in a quiet bar in Düsseldorf, I happened to meet Christoph Helms and we spent some time talking about my trading business. Back then, things weren't going all that well. And he just said, yeah, why are you stressing yourself out so much? Just drop everything that doesn't bring you joy and only do what makes you feel comfortable. And that's what I did. So that was really cool. So everything was already there.
And what would you say, Patrick? How replicable is this PBD methodology? Would you say that anyone can learn it? Or would you rather say, well, it's incredibly complex and difficult? So be honest, just speak freely. How is it for you?
If I say it's totally easy, that would be silly too. But no, it really is simple. Once you understand the logic behind it, it's easy to implement it in your trading.
But why is it possible for you to truly accept this simplicity and not keep searching all the time? For more vehicles, for more things to add? How come? Why do you have such trust in it?
I think that actually comes from my job from before. Well, I used to be a bookbinder and had 30 or 40 people, and we always did what worked best and didn't overthink what was better or worse. Whatever needed to be done, got done, and it was done immediately without asking questions. So it was never a question of maybe doing something. It was always either yes or no. So
would you say, and acceptance is also a very important part, first accepting things as they are and then simply moving into action? Because I see it so often that so many people find this incredibly difficult. They question everything in depth. Why don't you do that like that?
I don't do that. Well, I'm just not used to it. That's how I was raised. That's 20, 30 years where it was never an issue for me. And that's the only way I can explain it, because for me, it's really like I just do it and that's it.
Yeah, I always say the best thing is to make your plan and so on, and then you hit yourself over the head with a frying pan. And then you get into action.
Thank you.
Would you more or less agree with that?
No, but it's close enough. I could have said it more nicely, but in the end, that's what it is.
I'm talking about myself, not about you. I'm really talking about myself. Especially in trading, it's really unavoidable to just get into action. I always say building Lego is one thing, but playing Lego is something completely different. To endure that boredom as well, and so on. How do you deal with boredom in trading? Tell me, what do you do when your trades are running? What do you do in the meantime?
That's actually my biggest problem, because I used to be a workaholic and I just didn't know what it was like to do nothing for half a day. And even now when I come home in the evening or come home and see my wife and she asks, what did you do this morning? Well, nothing. The market was weird. It's still a strange feeling because you feel lazy when you do nothing. And yet in reality, less is actually more. So I end up completely ruining my performance when I start overtrading again, because I think I have to be productive now.
With the trader avatars, that's how it is here with Trade the Traders. We have like breakout traders, counter traders, swing traders, especially intraday swing traders. And you're the classic counter trader who turns those into intraday swings.
Exactly.
And this approach and style requires a lot of patience, but also a lot of trust, because you don't have such a high hit rate. So what advice would you give people as a practical tip? How can they make it easier for themselves so they don't stress so much about letting the trades run? Do you have any tips or great ideas for that?
I've thought about it often, but honestly, I don't really have a tip for that. So, just try it at home for 2 or 3 months on paper or with very small contracts, so you can gain confidence that it really works and also see that you can actually make money with it. Even with a hit rate of 30 or 40%, you can still make money with it. People always talk about it, and of course it's mathematically logical that you can make money with it. But even if it's just a demo account, when you actually do it for 2 or 3 months and see that a lot of money really does come out of it, that might be the best way to gain confidence.
But then you also agree with me 100% in the end that this trader avatar identification, this trader DNA, is actually the most essential thing in order to even classify trading strategies for yourself, right? Because if someone as patient as Serge, for example, starts to adapt your approach, he'd totally lose it. And that's why I really want to give this advice to all of you. You have to figure out how you tick and then adapt your strategies to your personality. That was the game changer for you. And yes, how was it possible to achieve that? Well, since I trade in a very similar way, it was still relatively easy back then to duplicate it like that. And today, we're at a completely different point. Risk management, maybe that's also an interesting topic. How is that for you? So, for example, if you had 9 losing trades in a row, how do you deal with that? How does it feel? Does it stress you out? Or, maybe just tell us yourself instead of me.
Yeah, that's the downside of the way I trade. I mean, if you only have a 30 or 40% win rate, then you can easily have 10, 15, or even 20 losing trades in a row. Yeah, of course, that sucks. So that sucks. But because you know that's going to happen, there are also winning streaks of 5 or 10 trades. So it actually works out pretty well. But of course, for me too, that's a rough time. Like you come home in the evening and what did you do? 4 losing trades. So that's exactly how it is.
Yeah, when your wife asks, so how was your day? Yeah, I lost 35,000 today. She must be thrilled, right? She's really excited then and asks, which vacation are we booking today?
Did you do nothing again?
No, I totally get that.
So I also notice when let's say 3 or 4 losing trades in a day. So sometimes I just switch off because having a string of losses in a row isn't really the problem for me. But when it's that many in a single day, so that's more of an issue for me. It's better if I just call it a day, because if I keep trading after that, then suddenly I start trading everything again because I feel like I have to make up for it. And then things don't get any better for me either.
Yeah, for 2026. From my side, I can tell you, what can you expect to experience with us? What will there be? First of all, there will be the opportunity to actually meet us in person. We had considered making the whole thing hybrid as well. So with streaming to the outside, we decided against it because, as we both just mentioned, we realized for ourselves that the most valuable way is to work with people in person. And just like it was for you, gaining that trust was only possible through being physically together, doing things over and over and having someone to talk to when things got tough. And feel free to share your own thoughts on that.
I can really feel that right now because the guys, when did you move here?
In April.
And since then, we haven't been together physically in the office anymore. It's really, really strange because you're used to having 5 people around you and now everyone's moving away. And I'm really looking forward to being able to be here more and more step by step because it's just nice when you can trade together. I mean, it's not even about trading itself, but about the times in between when nothing's happening or when things go wrong. Yeah.
Maybe just a quick word on the topic of emigrating as a trader. It's actually pretty easy. Of course, there are a few challenges, but I think Patrick wants to join us now. And he really likes it here too. And at Trade the Traders, we will definitely continue to live out the spirit of Trade the Traders. We're always happy when people come by. And make a note of this date, the 14th and 15th of March. That's when our open house will take place. Of course, now you have to ask, how are we supposed to accommodate all these crowds of people? That's exactly what we can do. Unfortunately, I can't walk around with the camera right now, but we've had an office built here specifically for this purpose, really built, which is, of course, on a scale that will allow us to bring our world to a level by the end of 2026 where we can integrate up to 40 full-time traders. And you'll be one of them, right?
Yes, that's how it's going to be. Not always, but as much as possible, yes.
All right, jokes aside. I think you'll get to experience and hear a lot of great things from us. And I want to thank you very much for this spontaneous story we just did. You can see it for yourselves too. We didn't really prepare much technically, but we just said it's a new year, we have to get started. We want to send you off with a message. My message to you is keep it simple, less is more, don't stress yourselves out too much, and above all, have one thing, lots of fun while trading. And the last sentence is for you, or maybe the last 5. Do you feel like giving people a message for 2026?
I'm so clumsy with that. I really don't know what to say right now, but you put it really nicely and I can only agree with you.
Yeah, that's how it is with trading with Patrick too. He accepts things as they are. And that's really valuable. I can honestly tell you that from the heart. When you embrace acceptance and trust, things are just always cool.
Absolutely, yeah.
And not everyone has to be such a chatterbox like me. That's totally fine too.
But you do it well. I mean, I listen to you, even I listen to you quite well.
Yeah, dear ones, thank you for listening. Thank you for being here, Patrick. It was a lot of fun. And I wish all of you a wonderful 2026 from the bottom of my heart. And leave us a like if you enjoyed it. See you very soon. Goodbye, everyone.
Take care.